Doing the assignment is one thing, submitting it is another. And joining me now is Jane Horn. Hello, Jane.
Hello.
Thank you for coming along. Jane's from the Computing Help Desk. The best thing, well, one of the best things from the Open University, I think, because the Computing Help Desk are brilliant. You're open like at really sensible hours, often like at night when you're sort of struggling to get something in. And your lot are so super helpful with a variety of computer issues. Have been a massive godsend at many times, I know, for me and a lot of my students. So we're going to talk about submitting a TMA, and we've got some widgets there which I'd like you to tell us. Have you ever experienced submitting a TMA? So we know there are a lot of level 1 students, but you may be a level 1 student on your second module. So let us know if you've submitted a TMA. And also, we'd like to know how confident you are with IT, because submitting a TMA is theoretically OK, but sometimes the barriers can be to do more with confidence than actually using the system. But we're going to show you how it's done, aren't we?
Yes, indeed.
Lovely.
So, run through 1 is where everything goes right.
OK.
So, first of all, I'm imagining that you've all finished your TMA, it's all written up, and you're done and dusted and want to send it off. That there in the top is what you're kind of looking for. I always advise students, if you can, save it to your desktop, because then you see it immediately.
Yes.
If you save it somewhere else, that's absolutely fine. You know, it can be in your documents. You can even put it in your pictures if you really want. Just remember where you saved it.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you say, where have I saved my file, it's a bit like saying, where have I lost my car keys?
I've had students also accidentally submitting the wrong files because they're working on it. And I've noticed now a lot of students are writing like TMA 1 final or to send or something just different so that they can then see that that's the end one.
Yep, naming it just something slightly different, as you say, that's another great thing as well.
OK, good. But, so you've got the TMA.
Yeah, you got the TMA. When you're ready to submit, I'm afraid these are screenshots, but first step is log into your website.
OK.
And you're greeted with Student Home. You're looking for the online TMA service link. That's the one that you're looking for. It's generally, let's see if we can get the highlighter up. It's about the second link down. So it's nicely at the top. Probably can't see that, but if you do have 2 tabs up at the moment, if you are logged in, you should probably be able to see it at the moment already. Once you've clicked on that link, you then get a page like this. It looks quite scary because it's got a lot of boxes on there.
All to submit. 46% of our students have never submitted a TMA.
46.
So that's just under half, obviously. But OK, so here you've got the thing, and you can see then the submits. And those are for each assignment that are in this module?
Yes, they are. So make sure you click on the right one.
Oh, yes.
It's not the end of the world if you don't. But it saves us a lot of headaches if you click on the right one.
OK.
So double check that you're clicking on the submit link that's in the same row as your actual TMA.
Now there's this dummy TMA right at the top here. What's that all about then?
Dummy TMA is your practice TMA. As you go through later of the modules, do double check that the dummy TMA isn't used for anything, because sometimes they are. But generally, 99% of the time, it's just for you to submit a practice one, and it's not marked, it's not included in...
So you just send a Word document with your name on it, and then your tutor writes a comment just so that you can check you've read it. Yeah, OK,
Precisely
brilliant.
Yep.
And not all modules have these, do they? But I think the majority do.
99% of them do.
Yeah. I know on one of the modules I teach, it's a chance to practice zipping files, which
I'll
I know you're going to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Great, so you find the link, you submit on the right one, OK?
So then you get... this page. It's more steps.
OK.
Lots more steps. It's only 3.
Yeah.
But it can be a bit daunting when you first look at it. So just take it step by step. Step 1 is selecting your file. It's like uploading any document or attaching any document to like an email. So you've got a nice choose file button. You click on that and you get a screen like this.
OK.
Where you just select your file. This is where you need to remember where you saved it.
OK.
So if you saved it to your desktop, that's normally a quick link on the left-hand side, and then you select your TMA.
Great.
And it appears just there.
Yeah.
Step 2. I haven't cheated.
Yes.
Read those boxes carefully, please, because it is important that you read them, and then tick them.
Yes.
Like so. And then the third and final step is to submit again. Now, some people do get confused because you're submitting at the beginning and then you're submitting at the end. But this is the final submit step. This is it. Once you clicked it, it's going in, it's off. And you'll get a submission receive page.
Very easy. What can possibly go wrong?
What can possibly go wrong? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Before we get to what goes wrong, if you have got that submission receive page, it'll be in green. It will list the files that you've submitted, and it will also give you a receipt code. Make a note of that receipt code because that is your proof of submission. You can find it if you come off that page, if you go back right to the start.
Do students still get an email with it on?
They do, but they can be delayed. Okay. You know, if there's like 1,000 TMAs going through at the same time, obviously it's going to take a bit of time for those emails to go out. Okay. So just make a note of it, just in case. Yeah. You know, you will get an email as well. But,
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can find it again, as I say, if you go back to the online TMA EMA service, it's located there as well. So, if it all goes wrong and you get an error, read it and don't panic. Errors are actually our favourite thing because they tell you what's going wrong. If you just get a blank page, that's when we start to panic. So if you get an error, it's actually okay. There are 3 main ones that we get. Incorrect file format, the file size is too big, or you've got an invalid zip file.
Lee Christie says he never reads these boxes that come up. Tut tut, Lee, I wonder if you submit them all in on time then.
Shall I go over there and tell him off?
No, you can't. He's too far away.
Oh, read them.
Okay.
Yep.
So these are not these are something one can get over, I assume.
Absolutely, yes. And most of the time you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're in a panic and you ring us, try and make a note of what the error was, because often we get, you know, I've had an error, and we go, okay, what was it? And they go, oh, I'm not sure, and we have to take them through the submission process again to find out what the problem is. Yeah. So if you get one, make a note of it, don't panic.
Now, the reason that most TMAs are technically due round noon, but there's a 12-hour grace period often, but not exhaustively, is so that you've got time to ring the computing help desk if you get one of these messages, so that you can help. Yes,
exactly that. But as you say, you can often help yourself with these ones. So, incorrect file format. Let's get out of this and discard the changes. That is where most of the time students have used something like Pages for Mac. They have used OpenOffice, or they've used LibreOffice.
I meant to ask you about Macs.
Yes.
And Lee, don't have a sad face now. It's your own fault. What's the difference between Macs and PCs, and is the process the same? The
submission process is the same. When I get to zipping, there will be a little bit that's different, but the actual process of going online, selecting the file, that's exactly the same.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, so if you've used, as I say, Pages, OpenOffice, LibreOffice, or any other kind of office software, okay, do you know what I mean when I say that?
Yep.
Yep. To students?
I do. So anyone got any questions, ask. Ask now.
Yep. And
but there is guidance on the file formats and things like that are acceptable, and that's fairly self-explanatory, isn't it?
Yes. If you want them listed right now, they're .doc, .docx, .rtf. You don't have to remember that. It will be written. It's normally at the end of your question. It will say, please submit, and then it will have the file formats. So yeah, if you've used a different office software, it may save in a different type. So this one here, you can see it's got a different icon.
Ah, yes.
That's your first big hint.
Yeah.
And afterwards, you've got this dot. You might not be able to see it, but it says ODT.
Yeah.
Yeah. The system will just spit it back out and say no.
Okay.
But there is actually nothing wrong with your file. It's fine. All you need to do is save it in one of the accepted formats.
Okay.
And that is very simply file and save as, not file and save.
Yeah.
So most people will be used to using file and save.
Yeah.
And as you see.
Okay.
Oh, document recovery. That's nice. All right, we'll do it a different way.
So basically, you open it and file and save as a .doc or .docx or .rtf, rich text file.
I will though take you through, showing roughly what it looks like.
You haven't written anything on your TMA.
I'm sorry.
You're going to fail.
Look, there's a TMA 01 there, okay? So you've got your file name.
Yeah.
To change the type, you've got a drop-down menu just underneath the name.
Okay.
You click that.
Brilliant.
Yep, and it's there.
So
and
you can
you're
just save it in a different format.
Yeah, you're looking for Microsoft Word 97 to 2003, something along those lines. Select that, hit save, and you're in the correct format. It may give you a warning about changing the format, but that's fine.
Great.
And then you're done. and instead of selecting the wrong file, you select the nice new file that's made there.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, what about the other warnings?
Second warning,
Yeah.
the file is too big. 99.9% of the time, this is because you've included lots of pictures.
Yeah.
Hundreds of them.
Tutors don't really like more than 8 cat pictures, do they? Per TMA.
9? Cats have 9 lives. So,
But this might be something, say, for example, on some of the modules, I know students might draw a graph and then they might need to take a photograph of it and resize it. So this might apply to some of those maybe science or maths modules.
yes, exactly. Now, we tell students to go away and reduce the file size of them. There are several ways to do that. There are actually bits of guidance on the computing guide that there are links to. I wanted, though, to show that doing so doesn't necessarily affect how the picture looks, because that's mostly what students are worried about. If they reduce, the quality of it, what difference is it going to make? So I've got 2 pictures here. They're from NASA. Thank you very much, NASA. And as you can see, there is no difference to them. No noticeable difference. One, however, will put you over the file size immediately.
Right.
The other one,
What
you
is
can
the file
have
size?
file size. It's how much memory it takes up.
Okay.
So I've saved them here.
And is there a threshold? Is it like 2 megs or something?
10.
10? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay,
got
great.
increased. So here, you can see that one there is 9.47.
Okay, so that's
So-
under.
Just about. But if you include anything else, that's going to go over
Okay.
because it's 9.47.
Right, so how do you reduce it?
To reduce it, as I say, several ways. It will depend. Are you on a PC? Are you on a Mac? If you're on a PC, go to Paint. Paint is your best friend. Copy it into Paint and then actually physically reduce the picture. You can do that using resize and stuff like that. Then File, Save as, JPEG.
Okay.
That's one of the top options. You'll see it immediately, and that just compresses everything down and makes it nice and small for you.
Brilliant.
And will bring you under that threshold 99.9% of the time.
Perfect. And another way is zipping, isn't it?
Yes. If you're using pictures, you'll normally have kind of like 2 documents as well. So generally, you'll have already done that. This is kind of like you've zipped it. It hasn't made any difference. Yeah.
Okay.
It's normally the pictures. And
Okay.
even if you do zip it, if it is as big as 9.47, that's still not going to bring you under enough to actually submit it.
Okay.
So it's making it a lot smaller.
Okay, brilliant.
Okay.
All right. Zipping, you would need to do, like often we'll ask people to find papers, for example. So they might need to do a literature review. They might then find some papers they need to submit as PDF files with their assignment, and then they zip that together in a file. And that can cause a lot of anxiety for people.
Yeah.
But it's quite easy, zipping. I can do it. that must mean it's very easy.
It's not too bad, yeah. It's just remembering to highlight all the documents that you want.
Yeah.
And then for Macs, it is Control-click because Mac mice aren't set up for right-click.
Yeah.
For Windows, it's right-click and then compress.
Okay.
So I can show you now. Got 2 parts of the TMA there.
Yeah, so just highlighted them.
Yeah, right-click,
Yeah,
send to, and then you got it nicely across there.
brilliant.
Compress it folder. That's all you need to do.
Perfect, and then they're both in there.
And
then
then
you
they are.
submit that file.
Indeed. So if I double-click on that, you can see them both copied in there.
Perfect.
There we go.
Excellent. Lovely. Now, our last option is it for emergencies.
Yeah, before we do that though, just quickly, the zip files.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if you get an invalid zip file,
Yeah.
okay, if you're on a Mac, make sure that you've copied and compressed your documents on the desktop.
Right.
Other than that, do give us a call because it's often to do with WinZip or 7-zip that you've got installed.
Complicated.
Yeah.
So then call the
So
computing
then
help
call the
desk.
computing help desk.
Okay, brilliant. And then finally, for emergencies.
Emergencies. Ah, yes.
Help.
This one. So if I do shift that one. Okay. This information is available through the Help Centre link. It can be a little bit tricky to find. This is if the ETMA system goes down. So it is for emergencies only. And normally you'll call the computing help desk saying, oh, I can't submit my TMA. And we'll be running around going, yep, we know. It's submitting by email. You can't normally do this, so don't kind of like save it and think, oh, I can submit by email. That's fine.
People are going to watch it on catch up.
But for emergencies only, because if hopefully it never cross your fingers, touch wood. If everything goes down, you can submit by email. And this is how you do it. You send it to etma@open.ac.uk, but you have to format the subject field with your personal identifier, / your module, / the TMA number.
Okay.
If you don't do that, it will get rejected.
Brilliant.
But that is for emergencies only, but I thought this is the kind of place to put it, isn't it? So, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, brilliant. But the Computing Help Desk are a great source of help and support. And also, if there is something that really, really does go wrong, you can always just speak to your tutor, email your tutor and tell them that you are submitting it. And there are extensions that can happen for exceptional circumstances as well. So, so there are lots of ways to get your TMA in. But thank you, Jane, for showing us how easy that is. And for all those tips, that's brilliant.
No problem.
Lovely.
Yes.
So the Computing Help Desk then, what time are you open from and until, and what sort of support do you give for students?
OK, so during weekdays we're open 9 a.m. till 9:30 p.m.
Brilliant.
At weekends it's 9 till 5, so 9 in the morning to 5 in the evening.
Yeah.
The kind of help that we give is to do with OU software, so installations. If you ask us how to use it, we won't have a clue, but we can get it installed for you. If you get an error submitting your TMA, we'll take you through that. But if you ask us how to do your TMA, we won't have a clue. And then if you're having general login problems, so you can't get into the site or something like that, we can help you with that too.
Brilliant. Excellent. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jane, for coming along. Well, that's been a really useful session. Sophie and HJ, how's it all on the hot desk?
Well, it's going well. We've got lots of tips and different things coming through. Some people are saying they're having issues with the stream, so usually hitting the refresh button will sort that problem out, or changing what browser you're using. I've also been told that changing the quality of the stream, so if you hover over where the video is and it's a little option to change the quality, may also help with that. We are sorry about this and thank you for bearing with us. If there's anything persistent, you can click in the watch only room and have that up at the same time as the chat, or email us studenthub@open.ac.uk so we can sort out for next time, because we don't want anyone to miss out as well. But yes, we've had lots of good tips and people sending us stuff as well. Joan said Jane is really good, so yes, we agree, they're very good at the Computing Help Desk. And Hazel wonders how many times Jane has to say, have you turned it off and back on again? So, probably a few more times than is necessary, but Siobhan's give us a tip about backing up her TMAs while writing it. She says she saves it onto a memory stick and then emails them to herself, which I had a hard drive my first year that, I don't know, something went wrong with it before my TMA was due, and I just had to ask for an extension and write it again. I was devastated. So now I do these sorts of things as well, and it's very good to have backups. I think that's one thing that we got from this. But yeah, people sent us some great pictures as well, so we're really excited about this.
We've got some nice ones. These are from Eric in Portsmouth. This is his view over in Portsmouth with the Spinnaker Tower. I used to go to university in Southampton, so I used to go over to Portsmouth quite a lot, so it's quite nice. And that's his study space there as well. So a couple of study spaces coming in, which are really nice.
Yeah, Amy's sent in his study space, and she says nom nom. She's got lots of treats on her desk there, and we love seeing all these different spaces and all this different food. So we'll get back to you, and we have stuff to send back to you as well, because it's only fair. But yes, send us stuff in at Student Hub Live through Twitter, or studenthub@open.ac.uk, and we'll
please try remember to send us your address as well,
so
that we have someone to post them to and able to help.
I need to tell you which out of the trains, trauma and emergency care,
yes.
and the hunt.
Yes. So we had the what's this one? The trains, trauma and emergency, and this is my favourite out of today. This is a big poster.
This is a mistake. I'm sorry.
I really like this poster. Yes. So this is my favourite of today. Yes. But what else have we got?
We've got Darth Vader here from Katie, the study buddy.
Aww.
He's really sweet, although he doesn't look like he's in a Christmas outfit, but I'm not going to.
He doesn't look very happy, I'll be honest.
And Robert seems to be in a trend of baking cakes for each of these boot camps, so these look very good today. So he sent me the recipe of the last ones he made, so I've still got to try them. But
you should make some for this week.
yeah, I should have done that, shouldn't I? Yeah, I'll think of that next
See
time.
what I can do.
But and then Justina's she's got a treat, and she says an interesting chocolate bar, and we have to say the name is quite interesting. But,
New one.
yeah, if you got any very organised study spaces that put me
More
to shame
organised than
again,
ours,
yes, or study buddies, or where you are, or interesting names of foods and treats, we want to know. Yes.
Oh, no, it's lovely seeing everyone's pictures coming through and all the study buddies and things, and we put them up on our board and makes us feel like we know everybody. It's also really nice if you've got a picture and you can change your profile as well, and I've seen some of you doing that in the chat, so you can just go to your details and add a picture there, and then that should come up, and that again, it's nice to see each other and see what you all look like, or you might want to put your pet or your cake there either as well.